Hello and welcome to Skills to Pay the Bills and today's segment of JustAskFreeman.com. I'm your host, Freeman Owen Jr., and with me is my co-host and lovely wife, Carolyn Owen. We are the owners of Financial Sources Incorporated, and our purpose is to help individuals just like yourself who are having concerns about losses in the market, concerns about running out of income. We have solutions. And so what we're going to do, we're going to talk and discuss some very key topics for you today to give you the peace of mind and the quality of life you so much deserve. So, Carolyn, let's get started.
Well, Freeman, we're going to talk about several critical areas today that our viewers should certainly be concerned about because they deal with retirement and with the cost of caregiving.
Exactly.
First, we're going to talk about preparing for retirement. Enjoy the retirement lifestyle that you want. Then know your retirement vision. Then you need to make sure you evaluate spending and the cost in retirement. And next we're going to talk about the cost of caregiving, because when you're planning for your retirement, it's so important to also plan for this just in case.
Exactly. Well, let's talk about enjoying the lifestyle that you want. As you calculate the dollars you take to retire, you have to consider the fact that in retirement, you have to factor in your wants, retirement wants, as well as your basic needs. One of the questions you may have for me is, well, what do you picture yourself, or what do you picture for your retirement? Well, the top retirement dream today is what?
The top retirement dream for today is vacation and travel.
Exactly.
Yes.
That is a hot button even for us.
Yes.
And perhaps you'd like to see Bora Bora, Paris, Spain, Rome, or even take a cruise up the Pacific coast and visit Alaska. Or how about fly fishing? All right, that's one of the things you may enjoy, or maybe you want to work on your golf or tennis game. Another thing is you may want to enjoy a hobby that you're not able to do right now, but when you retire, that could be available for you. You know, the quality of life. I'm going to put a lot of emphasis on that today. You might like to volunteer for your favorite charity, or even visit your children or grandchildren.
Grandchildren,
All
yes.
right, now we have to visit ours since our grandchildren are away from us and out of this state. But I tell you what's interesting, Carolyn, is 69% of middle-income Americans say they like to work in order to, quote, stay busy. Now, that's a worthwhile goal, all right? However, it'd be nice to work on your own terms and to pursue your passion rather than to pursue that check. Paycheck to paycheck. You don't want that.
That is so true. But what happens is that when you're young, you may think that retirement is so far off you don't have to worry about it.
Exactly.
And then as you're approaching the end of your working years, you may have a clearer picture of what you want your retirement to be like. But the saving and the planning has to get started as soon as possible.
Exactly.
So regardless of your age, a solid retirement strategy is extraordinarily important.
That's very important. And here's how we can help individuals acquire that peace of mind. They can join our Safe Money Kit. It's absolutely free. And here's how you do it. I'm going to give the steps. The first thing you do, you go to JustAskFreeman.com. You download your Safe Money Kit. Then we will send you information and enroll you into the Safe Money Club. Doesn't cost a dime. And that will keep you informed and educated about the financial strategies that are available. And this is an ongoing process. So I'm going to mention it throughout our show to give people an opportunity to join the Safe Money Club, which I think will be exciting for them and a lot of fun. Plus, the education is I should say, invaluable.
Yes,
all right.
And Freeman, now we all know what the word vision means, but how do you go about planning a vision for your retirement?
You know, it would be very disappointing to dream about a comfortable retirement and then find yourself short. And what does that mean? Unable to enjoy your leisure years because of your financial, or I should say limited financial resources. Exactly. Now the thing that's unfortunate about this is that many people who are planning for retirement underestimate the amount of the expenses and planning for retirement expenses and the rising cost of living.
Well, Freeman, can you give us some sure ways to evaluate spending and costs
I most certainly
as we
can.
prepare for retirement?
You know, although your expenses may change when you retire, there's going to be some reductions in some areas. First, the clothing, dry cleaning, and the expenses of traveling back and to and from work. Now that's offset with home energy costs, which could be higher, especially if you're around the house a lot after you've retired. You spend more time at home, health-related expenses. As we age, we can look forward to spending more money as far as health care. Now, food and housing stays about the same.
Okay.
Home-related expenses represent about 42% of spending for Americans age 50 plus. That happens regardless of whether they're retired or not. Now, 3 out of 5 workers expect to spend less in retirement, and then when you take half of those people, they indicated in the survey that they spend much more money at the beginning of their retirement and is almost at the same level they were spending when they were working. And another significant role that plays a big part in your retirement is where you live.
That's very true.
Okay. Now, we know that our daughter had moved on to Florida.
Yes. she
All
did.
right. If you're living on a limited income, your money might go further in some cities, which I'm going to mention, and states. And we're going to compare some of the living expense, or I should say living expenses between cities. Here's, for example, we just mentioned the fact that our daughter moved to Florida. And I'm going to look at the index, the national index. We're going to set it at 100. Now, living in Tampa Bay, Florida, is 9% less than it is compared to the national level, the national index. Let's take Washington, D.C. It takes 47.5% more income, and the living expenses is almost 50% higher than the national average. Now, you take New York, is 123% higher than the national average. So we also have to consider that the cost of housing, food, and utilities is mentioned, but what about taxes? Each state have varying rules for taxing pensions and Social Security, income, property taxes, sales taxes vary by state and by county. So I just wanted to mention the fact that when there's been a lot of downsizing, we've heard that, and a lot of folks are concerned about the high cost of living in various cities, and especially the Washington metropolitan area. They mentioned, you know, we're going to do better off if we move south, and just 1 or 2 of the cities that I can mention, where the cost of living is much lower than here in the metropolitan area. Phoenix, Austin, Texas, Charlotte, 92.6%, which is about 7.4% less than the national average. So what they call reducing their outlay and expenditures in these various cities gives them a better quality of life. And I'm going to repeat quality of life. And folks, our viewers, if you're tuning in, let me help you find the best planning for your retirement strategies. Go to our website, justaskfreeman.com, and become a member of the Safe Money Club. Now, the way you do that, once you reach the site, you'll see a tab, Safe Money Kit. Download that kit. We'll reach out to you and enroll you in the Safe Money Club, all righty? Therefore, and this is an ongoing process, you'll get information and education such that you will be a learned person and you'll get help to navigate through your retirement journey. Yes. Again, that website is justaskfreeman.com. And if you have any questions, email us at freeman@justaskfreeman.com. You can like us on Facebook. That Facebook page is loaded with content that help you understand and to help you with your retirement, your needs, and help you again through navigating through that retirement journey. And I'll say this, Carolyn, it is very difficult to go through retirement without professional help. All
That's
right?
very true.
Exactly.
Very difficult,
Now-
very wise.
Excuse me.
Well, Freeman, you know, a big discussion that happens with couples is talking about when to retire. You'll hear them saying, I'm not ready to retire. You know, you think after you've gone through your career and you've raised your children, they're out and everything, you think, "Phew, I'm home free."
Right.
But there's another big marital hurdle, and that is when to retire.
Exactly.
Because, and there was a study that they did, and they said that over half, or 62% of couples in disagreement as to when to retire.
Exactly. And we've heard a lot of that over the years. And we've
Yes.
been in business for over 35 years now. And we've been helping many a retiree. And the thing is, this is the 21st century. Time, excuse me, times are different,
Very different.
okay?
So if you have that model in your head, I know I did with my father retiring and so forth, but the days are over when the husband automatically retires with a corporate pension at age 65 and the wife dutifully follows him to the golf course in Florida. Those days are officially over.
Exactly.
Most women approach retirement age are now working, and many have their own retirement savings and viewpoints. We can talk about, in my case, because I retired and that's what happened, because many women have entered the workforce later, and they're at their peak when the men want to slow down.
Exactly.
Yes, so the timing can create some struggles.
Exactly. About half the couples retire within 2 years of each other.
Yes.
The thing is, as men approach retirement age, are on the average, are usually 4 years older than their spouses. The larger the age difference between spouses, all right, it is less likely they'll retire at the same time. Now, we got about a minute left here, but I think we're going to have to take a break. We're going to take a short station break, and we'll be right back after these special announcements. Stay with us.
Filing for Social Security online is a lot easier than relearning the Watusi.
Well, welcome back. You're watching Skills to Pay the Bills, and today's segment of Just Ask Freeman.com. You know, Carolyn, right before the break, we were talking about how times have changed during retirement, because you've retired, all
Yes.
right, and undertaken this profession, and you had your own 401k, your own savings plan, your own pensions. You developed that, and a lot of men now have assumed different roles. We're going to discuss that in a minute, simply because their spouses have their own earnings and their own employer-sponsored retirement accounts, IRAs, etc., and have taken the lead. And a lot of times, just like you've retired before me.
Yes.
And again, I want to emphasize the fact that the larger the age difference between spouses, the less likely they are to retire at the same time. Retirement talks are more sensitive.
They're definitely more sensitive now, Freeman.
Yeah, and the talks when to retire seem much more sensitive and difficult than the question of where to retire. The question of when to retire involves focusing on monies, all right? Job satisfaction. We talk about age differences and also gender roles. There's a role that is assumed by the first spouse or the last spouse to retire. Oftentimes, these factors happen at about the same time.
Yes.
Already. And that's not surprisingly, I stress a lot of importance of planning, clear communication, and compromise. And you and I did that. That took several years for us to get to that point. And so we could pass on the knowledge that we've learned also with many retirees. And they too, we put the importance again on planning. There's got to be communication, and there's got to be some type of agreement in order for it to work well. And each person needs to clarify their own vision of what's important and learn to talk with each other. So retirement planning is the best way to avoid undue stress.
Absolutely.
And contact us at our website, justaskfreeman.com, and get your free, or I should say, join your Safe Money Club. There's no fees, we don't charge fees. And the easy way to do that is just to go to justaskfreeman.com. there's a tab, Safe Money Kit. Tab that, and then we'll reach out to you and enroll you into the Safe Money Clubs. And therefore, you will be informed, you'll be educated, and with that education, you'll be able to take a very pleasant journey down that retirement road with support, and receiving and enjoying the retirement that you so justly deserve.
Deserve, that's the word
That's
I would
the
use
word.
also.
Okay.
Absolutely.
If you like to have a free consultation where we don't charge fees, you can put your wallet and checkbook away. You can reach us toll free at 1-866-471-SAFE. 1-866-471
7233.
Exactly. And you're under no obligation. Sit with us for an hour or so and get to know each other, and we can help you and give you some great strategies as far as taking that journey. I always say taking the journey down that retirement road and doing it with a quality of life that you will enjoy. And you're not, something else too, before we get to the cost of caregiving, I wanted to address the fact that we come up with solutions to help individuals such that they don't feel that they are a burden on their children, their grandchildren. And here's where we make the transition into the cost of living, of caregiving rather, which is an important topic. Had to cover that, Carolyn. All right. So let's cover that now, because the way I see the rising cost of caregiving, I think our viewers need to know the actual cost of unpaid workers or unpaid caregivers. There's about 65 million Americans, and about 1 out of every 3 adults prepare for someone or provide care for someone who is ill, who's aged, or disabled. Now, I've often asked many a client when they come in for an interview, do you have aging parents? And they either say yes or no. And so we integrate that part of that information into the retirement strategies that we have for them. Now, we said the caregivers are unpaid. I want to address that issue, some of them. But the total value of unpaid caregivers is $450 billion annually. Now, that's more than the health care. Now, let me define caregiving.
Yes.
All right. Before I do that, let me define activities of daily living. Being able to feed yourself, dressing yourself, ambulating, taking a bath. 2 of those activities, if we can't perform them well, we're going to need some skilled care. Now, we take these activities of daily living for granted, but if you can't perform 2, that's
You'll
where the
need
problem.
some care.
Exactly. About 2/3 of all caregivers help someone who's age 50 or older. Typically a parent, a spouse, or a friend. And most people volunteer out of love or what they call a sense of duty. And the high expense of a professional caregiver or professional care is an important factor. The average cost, $77,000. The average time spent in a nursing home, 2.9 years.
That calculates to close to $300,000.
Exactly. So you gotta have $300,000 in cash. Now, there are strategies that will help you avoid depleting your nest egg in order to pay for skilled care. Now, I want to continue with this unpaid informal caregiving and its cost. You know, although it's free, Carolyn, 70% of working caregivers report having job difficulties. They can't make it to work, from changing their schedules to turning down promotions or taking unpaid leave. And in some cases, they give up work entirely. Now, I want to compare unpaid caregivers who have to travel short distances and need lodging. The average cost is $4,580 per year, all right, or $70 per year, upwards to almost $6,000 annually. Now, if we look at the caregiver who has to come long distances, all right, and they need monies for lodging. That average cost annually is $8,728. This is almost $9,000 per year.
But Freeman, the financial burden is only one aspect of the cost of caregiving.
Right.
Studies show that caregivers suffer from physical problems and from depression, or I'll say emotional problems, especially back problems.
Exactly.
And depression.
Right.
So you know that old expression, physician, heal thyself? That is so appropriate because caregivers have to learn how to take care of themselves as well as who they're taking care of.
It's very important. As with many aspects of life, your nest egg can make a significant difference.
Yes.
Now watch this. Listen to this. 3% of individuals or caregivers that earn a six-figure income, they report suffering fair or poor health themselves. Only 3% compared to 33.3% of caregivers who are earning less than $30,000 household income now, less than $30,000 per year. Now, listeners, I should say, our viewers should understand that if you haven't factored the cost of long-term care into your retirement planning, it may be wise, and it's serious. You should have it to give it a serious consideration if you're caring for a loved one or receiving care. A sound strategy could help. Definitely could help alleviate some of the stress. And I'm available to discuss that situation. They could reach anybody, can reach us at 1-866-471-SAFE. We have operators standing by. They can do that 24/7 and even on weekends. But most importantly, I would like for our viewers to go to our website, justaskfreeman.com, and become a member of the Safe Money Club. Easy to do, it's free. Go to justaskfreeman.com, tab the free Safe Money Kit. We'll reach out to you, just that simple, and enroll you into the Safe Money Club, and it'll be an ongoing process of receiving pertinent information, educating you on retirement strategies that will help you and guide you through your retirement journey, and with the peace of mind and the quality that you deserve. And we just addressed an issue here where it can help you not be a burden on your children or your grandchildren or friends, and vice versa. Children aren't a burden on you. So again, join the Safe Money Club at justaskfreeman.com. Download the free Safe Money Kit. And then again, like I said, we'll reach out to you and enroll you into the Safe Money Club so that you'll be educated and know some of the strategies that are important to your retirement. I want to take there's a couple more tips before we move to the next topic.
Yes, we have some tips for the caregivers.
That's it.
And one is take regular breaks to rest or to enjoy a favorite activity, because not only do you deserve it, you're
going to need it.
You really do.
Now, if it's something else too, if others offer help, accept it. You're going to need that gracefully and provide specific suggestions for what they should do.
And you should also watch for signs of physical problems or of depression. And if you need professional help, by all means, seek it and get it.
And another thing I want to add is seek the support of other caregivers and caregiver organizations. Now, you had a lot of experience in your career where you had to do that for many of your patients that were aged and needed care. And you provided that service. Fantastic,
and
for
that's
many years.
Extremely important service. It's very vital.
Exactly.
And then, the caregiver needs to educate himself about the loved one's condition.
Exactly.
So that you know what you're working with.
And participate in normal activities with your loved ones rather than focusing only on the care. In both, I can give examples for both of us, our aging parents. And my mom, who passed, well, prior to that, I was the caregiver with no siblings, alrighty? And my mother loved music. So I took her to concerts, and I could see the stress relieved. And I didn't focus so much on some of the activities of daily living that she couldn't perform, but to see the joy on her face with the care and participating along with her in some of the activities she really enjoyed. So caregivers, to take the stress and the participate in normal activities, I strongly agree and recommend that you would do that if you're a caregiver.
Definitely. And if you want more information, you can go to caregiver.org and you can get some more tips.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, you know, the clock on the wall says that our time is up, Carolyn. That's right.
Oh.
I tell you. And I want to thank you for supporting JustAskFreeman.com. And if you have any questions or comments, please contact us at JustAskFreeman.com. And remember, we're here for you. Also, don't forget to tune in to Skills to Pay the Bills each week, right here on Channel 10. We'll see you next week. And how do I always end the show?
Keep your
Your
money
money safe. All righty.